Okay.
All right, step 1, turn down the knob to 0. Step 2, turn on the frequency generator, the GB4000.
Okay.
Step 3, turn on the amplifier. Before you do all this, you're going to plug in the hand and foot paddles, and then you're going to make sure that they're not touching each other so that they don't short out.
Okay.
The hand and foot paddles are going to be wrapped in plastic to contain the electricity so that it doesn't leak into the bedclothes. The next step is we're going to check and make sure it's in RF, radio frequency mode. That's the default mode. It goes right back to start. For this carcinoma treatment, we're going to use one frequency today, and we're going to press the sine square button, which will come up square, and then press it into sine wave, very important, and it goes back to start. Even though we're using one frequency, we're going to vary it 1/2% up and down, and the machine will do this automatically. Just in case there's any mutations in the virus, you pick them all up. The way we do that is by pressing channel sweep, and it says sweep range. We enter 20,000, which is the maximum sweep range, and then press enter so the machine remembers that. The next thing we want to do is set the time for the session.
Okay.
And since we're only doing one frequency, we want to use the minimum amount of time, which is 30 minutes. Press 30 and then enter. At that point, it'll ask for the frequency that we want to run. And for carcinomas only, we're going to use 1,604,000, which is a radio frequency. This is not a sound wave. When you press run, it will beep. It will tell you which of the sweep frequencies it's running at the top, and that'll change every 15 seconds. It'll tell you that there's only one frequency programmed. It'll name it frequency 1. It will also tell you a countdown clock on the screen here, which is the time remaining for the session. Up at the top, it'll tell you that it's a single frequency running. It'll tell you that it's running SI sine wave. The last thing we're going to do is press the gate button, which will put a G into that sequence. The gate is 1,333 cycles, or hertz. 1333 hertz. That is a sound frequency that makes the radio frequency even more powerful. Because this is a powerful system, we don't want to overload the patient when you first start the frequencies. The downside of overloading the patient is that they could feel much, much worse the next day. And while it's temporary with flu-like symptoms, it can be really distressing and uncomfortable and also discouraging. So we are going to use this radio frequency dial here, which will bring up red confirming lights that tells you that the system is operational. When it's cranked all the way up, it's running maximum power, which is 15 watts, running through one frequency. It's distributed through 4 paddles, 2 on the feet, 2 on the hands. Each of your extremities is getting 4 watts, which is a lot of juice. Even 1 watt can be effective. So we're going to dial this back and watch the little red lights get more dim. At some point, you won't be able to see the red light on the left, and that means there's nothing running. So we're just going to bring that up to the place where it's just starting to show the red light. And I think that's a good place to start. if that works well, then every day, actually every other day, when you run the frequencies, you can bump that little red light up a little bit. So it looks to me like the marker is about halfway up here. At full, it goes up to the 4 o'clock position on the dial. I would say take your next 10 sessions and just bump it up a little bit in between each one. Make sure that your mom doesn't have a Herxheimer die-off reaction that's so strong that her lymph system can't clear it. When the session is done, the machine will beep once. It will turn off the red lights. In order to power the system down, always turn the radio frequency dial all the way down. Turn off the amplifier switch first. Turn off the frequency generator.
Thank you.